Greetings. Welcome. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Najima, and this is Najima.tv. It is 7 o'clock. It's the 7 o'clock hour. And I'm tuning in today. I have a very special guest. But I'm going to speak to you today along the lines about the same things that I've been talking about this particular time, about this opportunity that we have. As you've seen on my feed, I've been doing a couple of different things around messaging, around business, around sustainability, around wellness. And I have a special guest who's going to talk to us, who's in the same mindset around this pivot, right? Around this opportunity. So in a few minutes, we're going to check in with her. Her name is Simone Adrienne. She has joined us, and I am so very thankful that, I was bold enough to reach out to a Facebook group and found this entrepreneur who, again, had the same mindset as me, but also wanted to talk about a number of things that we were in line with. But before I go into that, I want to tell you a little bit more about me. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, thank you so very much again. Why is this important to me? Why is talking about this opportunity important to me? I have had the extreme pleasure of making several pivots myself, okay? So I, left college as a political science major, moved into public administration, worked for the federal government, then pivoted to public affairs, figured out that I was doing all this work in the intersection of sustainability and digital marketing. And there I am, right? So I figured out that I've been doing this pivot and I've been resilient through a number of difficult situations. I graduated a year after September 11th, right? So we had that. We've seen multiple financial downturns. I've lived through a government shutdown. And what I'm saying to you is that this time is an opportunity. Welcome. Welcome to all of you who are joining us today. My guest today is going to be Simone Adrienne. She is a serial entrepreneur. I'm very excited to talk to her in front of you all today because we had a great meeting earlier today. Just knowing that we're on the same mindset. I'm letting some more people come in because, Simone, she's a six-figure earner. Her clients are six-figure earners, right? So she knows a thing or two. And she's got some people on the line. She's got her whole tribe, okay? They are coming in, and I'm very, very thankful for them and everyone else who is joining us. So I've told you a little bit about myself. I started a group on Facebook called The Escape Tribe. It's called Plan Your Pivot, Plot Your Escape. All right, because COVID-19 has decimated every sense of normalcy that we have. And we keep using this term, the new normal, but it's going to be some time before things are normal for us again. So with that being said, I decided, let me combine my love of helping people and my current work in career services to make this real for folks. I want people to know who have recently lost their jobs as a result of COVID-19 that I'm offering free resume reviews and LinkedIn profile reviews. Okay, I work in career services. I work in personal branding, digital branding. If you don't understand that our lives are online now, that's where we are. So again, I'm welcoming Simone Adrienne. All right. She is incredible. I really enjoyed talking to her earlier today, and we are going to have a great conversation. Her tribe, where are her people? Overcoming her 8. They are here, and here is Simone Adrienne. Live. All right, I'm waiting on her. She's coming in. Yeah.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
I am so excited to be here, right?
We just
Just
had
the
such a great early
connection.
call, right?
Yes, the connection that we made earlier today was just like so awesome. So when
Yeah.
I can find other people that think the same way I think, it always sets my soul on fire. So I'm
Yes.
excited to
Yes.
be here.
So welcome. I want you to have a chance to welcome your people. Your crew is
Absolutely,
here.
absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I saw some of my amazing overcomers come into the room. So thank you guys for being here. Some of my supportive tribe, right?
Yes.
Everything that I talk about on my personal brand page and on my personal development page is centered around mindset, right? I
Yes.
truly believe that a woman with the right mindset can achieve anything, right? It starts with the mental programming. It starts with reprocessing and right retraining ourselves. And so I know what can happen when you take a difficult situation and you flip it, right? And you turn it into an opportunity to change your whole life.
That's what you
And
said.
I will say, right, this time, this season that we're in right now, this whole COVID-19, quarantine, isolation, like this is prime time, prime opportunity. Okay, guys?
Yes, it
And
is.
so I don't want anybody to think for a second, like just because maybe things have changed in your current work environment or you've been furloughed from your job or there's some uncertainty as far as when you will return, right? That means that things around you should stop. No, 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 no.
No. Mm-mm.
Their opportunities are in abundance right now, right? There's something that I share with my community often that I'm going to share with you guys tonight, and that's there's never a shortage of opportunities, right? There's
Okay.
only a shortage of creativity. So in moments like this, all this means is that you might have to get a little bit more creative. You're going to have to tap into that mental muscle and push yourself.
Be
Probably,
bold.
yep, be bold. Step outside of what your normal comfort zone may be and push yourself a little bit to be able to take advantage of what's happening right now. And so I'm excited. We're going to talk everything about, the stimulus money, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
opportunities you could take advantage of
Mm-hmm.
with that $1,200 or $1,700 or $2,400, depending upon your household status that you may have received, with your government stimulus package,
Mm-hmm.
and just a little bit about what it takes to shift the perspective, right?
That's the
Perspective
word
is
of the week. Shift.
perspective is everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you always look at your obstacle as your situation as the glass is like half empty instead of half full, you reinforce your limiting belief system. All you're doing is telling yourself that there's not enough, right? I don't have enough. I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And those fears, right? That subconscious programming, you start to vibrate on that level and you
Oh, you
push
said
that
my
out.
word. You
Yep.
said my
You push
word.
that out into the universe. So we got to shift the perspective, right? I literally when this quarantine and this isolation kind of extended past the 4-week mark, I started showing up for my ladies that are a part of my Overcoming Her community because I knew that it was starting to be a little bit more taxing on people, right? In
Yes.
the beginning of all of this, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air
Yeah.
for most of us, right? We got some free time back. We got to kick our feet up and catch up on all our Netflix
Right.
shows, right? It was all peaches and green for about 3 weeks. And then after that, the restlessness started sitting in,
Yes.
the
Yes.
discontentment started sitting in, the unproductivity started sitting in,
Mm-hmm.
and then we start to get anxious, right? It's like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, how much longer is this gonna last? How much longer am I gonna have to deal with this? And so I know if you don't take an active approach in the way that you handle your emotions, they will take
Wow.
control of you, right?
Wow.
If you do not make conscious and intentional decisions surrounding your emotions, they literally will start to control you. They will start to dictate how you respond. They will also dictate how you behave. And the last thing that you want to do in a situation like this is come out of it knowing that you made a decision purely based off of boredom, loneliness,
yes,
no distract, right? You put yourself in a more difficult place simply for the fact that you were operating 100% out of emotion. And so I've literally been speaking to them about, and that's the same message that I want to convey tonight to everybody that is on this live today, is that take this time of isolation and use it for your greatest good. This is the moment, this is the time where you can, one, invest into your own personal development, because you have more free time and more flexibility, right? Pick up that book, the book that you've been thinking about reading, for the last 6 months. Pick it up and actually read it, right? Spend some time finding the right type of programs or resources that you can use to learn a new skill.
Right.
Skills
Upskilling
are where the dollars are. The moment that you can learn a new skill set and then master it, you can turn that into passive income. You can turn that into an additional income stream. And so before we get into the money talk, right? Before we get to talk about how we can allocate this $1,200 into generating some additional like revenue into your household, let's just talk about the skills, right?
Okay.
There are so many like ways that you can take something that you may have learned on your job, or that you may have as just a life skill or a lifestyle skill, and scale it, right? And turn it into an income generator. There's websites like Fiverr and Upwork where you can always transfer the skills that you have into some type of additional dollars. Welcome. I see some more people coming into the room. Thank you so much.
Let me jump in right here as far as the upskilling is concerned, because I did teach this last weekend in the Escape Tribe. For those of you who are joining us, the group on Facebook is called the Escape Tribe. We're helping people plan their pivots and plot their escapes. I'm doing free resume reviews and LinkedIn profile reviews. But along the lines of what you said, yes, there are not only ways for you to turn your skill into dollars, into passive income, but if you need to learn, there are plenty of places. There are, I taught this 4 places. I'm gonna be brief, right? You got the Civic, right? The Civic is going to be a place called Allison. Allison is free. All right. Let's say you go to Coursera. Coursera is going to be your Cadillac. All right. Udemy is going to be your Ultima.
Okay. Y'all writing this down, right? She giving away some gems.
Right. And then the edXs, that's Harvard. That's Stanford. Right. That's your Lexus. So there's no excuse.
Nope.
You can get free education online. They're called MOOCs, open classrooms, open source learning. And you see where we are now. These kids aren't going back to school. They're not going back to classrooms. They're not going back to colleges if they so choose. No, they're learning online. We're living online. The opportunities are online. And it starts with mindset. And I'm going to shoot it right back to you.
Absolutely, right. Those four platforms that were listed, the resources there alone is enough for you to develop. I mean, you can pick one new skill, develop it, and literally turn it into a whole new business, right? So that way at the end of this, you may not even have to go back to the regular corporate job. But even if you do make the decision to go back, because what I do recognize is entrepreneurship is not for everybody, right? It's a very selfless, very sacrificing way to earn a living, right? But what is for everybody is multiple streams of income.
Gotta have it.
That's for everybody. It doesn't matter, okay? And so if you are the person that is still saying, hey, once this is all said and done, I have a job to go back to, I have my career, go back sharper. Then you go back adding value to the company, right? Increase your leverage position with them. So you can go back and you can say, hey, the time that we were away or the time that we were working remote, guess what I was able to do? Guess what? I
learned Salesforce for free.
You make yourself a must-have. Absolutely.
I picked up Microsoft Teams.
Yep, absolutely. You make yourself the must-have. So that way you put yourself in position to where it's difficult for them to expunge you. Okay. Yep. And in the midst of that, you also start to build you up some nest eggs, right? You get those skills so down pat in place and you put together systems. Okay. And so we talked a little bit about some of my clients and the clients that I work with, and the ones that I work with in a one-on-one basis. Everything that I do for them revolves around developing a system, right? Yes. Because the last thing that you want to do is you want to transfer from being like in a corporate setting, working a job, to being self-employed, but still trading hours for dollars, right? Right. You can never scale that. You can't scale that because there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much time you can give to work. The only way that you can scale the business is by developing a system. Absolutely. Right? So you have to have a marketing system in place, a machine, an automation that works for you, right? You have to have administrative systems in place, right? And people in place. And for most of us, absolutely, going into entrepreneurship, some of us for the first time are into being a new side hustler with this new kind of venture that you're developing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you in the beginning it's going to be easy. Right? It will require a sacrifice from you. It's going to require your time. It's going to require your investment. But I can guarantee you, if you can take 6 to 9 months of your life and dedicate to building out your system, it's the springboard for your transformation. Okay?
Thank you, sis.
When I launched Overcoming Her, I'm going to tell you guys, and we launched in 2017. Right now, I have a community of 27,000 women. Amazing. An offline personal development platform where I reach women all over the world. And I'm not even talking about the consulting side of my business, right? The part where I only talk to businesses about consulting, scaling, and growing, right? I'm just talking about reaching people where they're at. Because before we can get to that scaling part, before we can get to that business part, sometimes we have to spend some time just working on our mindset and working on ourselves, right? And just at that place, right, it took me 6 months to develop it. 6 months of total isolation. I put myself in isolation. There was no coronavirus going on at the time. But I knew if I was going to make this a reality, I was going to have to control the way that I was spending my time, right? Yes. So I took away all of the happy hours and the brunches and the lunches and where I was spending time at that I could redirect, right?
Your schedule ain't gonna lie.
It ain't gonna lie. And you can't fake that part, right?
Nope.
You have to show up for yourself, okay? And that's something that I tell people all of the time. Like, I can give you all of the tools. I can give you all of the resources. But the part that I cannot do for you is force you to show up. That has to be you, right? You have to make the decision to want to show up for you. Now, once you decide to show up, I'm with you all the way. I can help you 100% of the way. But you got to make the decision to commit to the process. You got to make the decision to commit to the pivot, right? To saying I want to change.
You plant that foot. You plant the foot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to do that part first. Now, once that happens, though, I can guarantee you 6 to 9 months. I put it together. I put the mission together. We launched the platform. And literally 1 year and 1 month after launching the platform, it transformed my life, right? So short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, right? I hone in on that because all too often, everybody wants the instant result, right? Everybody wants the instantaneous, instant gratification. And I'm going to tell you, the things that are created to last, it didn't
not done overnight.
It didn't happen overnight, right?
No.
And so I never want to portray or give people this idea like success is some instant thing. I've been an entrepreneur for 13 years, right? I've had some wins. I've had some losses. I've had some successes. I've had some failures. All along the way, they taught me the lessons that I needed to learn to prepare me for the position that I'm in right now. So you can't skip the process. The process is the refining, okay? So take this time right now, this moment that we're in, that $1,200, if you have not spent it yet, which I hope you have not, right? I'm getting ready to tell you a couple things that you can think about that you can use right now to become the new side hustler, have that additional stream of income, and start to generate some passive, right? Some passive income in your life, okay?
Yes. All right.
E-commerce is big, okay? It's not going anywhere. And every single person and every single article that I have read since this quarantine has begun will state that e-commerce has shot up, okay? People are spending money online because they can't go anywhere, right? So we're all sitting behind the computers and behind our phones shopping, okay? You want to be on the right side of the equation.
That's right.
Don't be the buyer, be the seller, okay? So that way you can profit from this time that we're in, okay?
Yep.
Shopify, one of the biggest e-commerce platforms that exists right now, is offering 90 days for free. 90 days, you can go in there and set you up a whole e-commerce site, store. You can outsource your product, okay? So sites like Alibaba.com has wholesale products left and right. You can find drop shipping opportunities. If you don't know what drop shipping is, I'm telling you, Google can be your best friend right now. Google can literally, and YouTube. You can go through YouTube and Google University. Spend your days 1 or 2 hours a day, right, educating yourself. That
use your commuting time.
Absolutely, your commute. I always say this, like when you get in your car in the morning, instead of turning on the radio and listening to them same 5 songs that they play over and over and over again, find you a podcast, find you a YouTube video, find you something that can enrich you. So that way, once you exit that vehicle, you've taken a little gem along with you, right? It's something else that you've learned that you can then apply. Okay. I'm all about the application though. You have to be willing to make the jump and apply it. But e-commerce is big right now. Another thing that you can get involved in that is going to definitely reap you some benefits in the future is purchasing some stocks and options, right?
Yes.
If you don't know where to start, I'm getting ready to tell you. One of my favorite stock brokerage firms where you can go to and you're protected and they have all of the resources there is Fidelity, right?
I'm a member.
Fidelity is, I'm a member, right? They're easy to deal with. They're easy for the person that doesn't have any prior experience, right? You can go in, you can set up your stock brokerage account. There is no minimum, so you can put that whole $1,200 in there, right? That whole 12 can go right in there. And you can take some time and you can research some of the stocks that are being affected right now because of what's happening and buy them now. Stocks like Carnival and Nourish, all of the cruise lines, all of the hotel lines, every mall or every physical brick and mortar property holding company is being affected right now. You can go in and purchase those stocks at a third of what they would normally be priced at and hold them.
Right. Okay? Let's talk about that because people think we're going to sit here and do a quick flip. No, friends. No. If that's what you're in it for, don't get in it.
No.
The stock market is a long game. All right. If you going to miss that money, don't invest that money.
Yep. No.
If you're going to miss that money, don't invest that money.
Yep.
If you cannot wait a minimum of a year, because we still don't know what this thing is going to look like. We have no idea, people.
None.
No. In fact, that's wrong. That's not true. I say about this experience, we are living now in a world, in a future that we watched and read.
Yep.
And created.
True.
Handmaid's Tale.
The
Man in the High Tower.
Yep.
How many movies? Pandemic. Outbreak. 12 Monkeys. I don't want to go into it. But what I'm saying is, we know. I'm looking to the movies to tell me, how to keep myself alive. But hold those stocks. Hold them. Because we don't know what's going to happen. We just want to know that you want to get in and be positioned.
That's
it. You want to be positioned. That's the opportunity. Not a quick flip. Positioning. All right.
That's the literally, I'm telling you, the opportunity is shifting your positioning. After recessions, and this is not the first one that anybody on this live has probably lived through, right? We've all been through the housing recession that happened in '08 and the bailout and the whole. This is just a repeat of that. But let me tell you something. There are people that walk away from recessions millionaires.
Yes.
Way richer than when it started, right? You want to figure out how you can carve out just a little piece of that. So all I'm doing is I'm giving you a couple of things that you can start to explore. That way you can just start to get your ball rolling. You can start to figure out where your pivot is going to come into place. Right. Those stocks, that's a long game. 12 months minimum. 12 months at minimum. I would like to tell you 3 to 5 years to
say that again.
Be honest with you. 3 to 5 is what I would really recommend.
Really?
It's to be able to hold that long.
If you need that money, that's not the money to invest.
Absolutely. Okay. And guess what? If you need the money, right? If that stimulus money that you received that got direct deposited into your house, if you need that to survive, right? We need to really go deep and try to figure out what part of your finances we need to go ahead and reevaluate. Because see, this is another thing that I see a lot, especially amongst people that look like me and you, right? Mm-hmm. We can't take advantage of opportunities like this because every single dollar that we earn already has a name on it, right?
It's catching up.
Every single dollar that we generate is already going out of the door because we live at our means, right?
Yes.
And so that means that we have to go in and we have to really get serious about how we view ourselves, one, how we view our finances, two, and we have to educate ourselves about some of the ways that we can start to make the shift. Because, see, I live by, and this is going to be some more free game for y'all. I hope you have your notepad, right? I live by the 3-time rule. If I can't afford to buy it 3 times,
cash,
I'm not buying it 1 time. Okay? I'm not buying it once. If I can't afford to buy it 3 times, if I can't 3x it, I don't need it.
Yep.
I don't need it. I don't care how cute it is, how fast it is, how stylish it is, how bad I want it, right?
How many handbags you want done worn?
Exactly.
This is the first time I done put on some makeup.
Right. Exactly. I haven't been anywhere with them handbags. But it means developing a certain level of discipline.
Yes.
Okay. It means developing a certain level of mindset about how you want to live your life, right? The pivot can happen for you. It can happen for anybody. Once you develop the obedience and the discipline to see some things through, right? We have to get away from this like consumerism kind of like start to think about our futures and the legacies that we leave behind, right? And that's what I am all about, is for I primarily speak to women, but this message is for everybody. It doesn't matter, man, woman, boy, girl, it doesn't matter. Anybody can take away the parts of it that they need and apply it to their life. Every single time that we go through a state of emergency, this country goes through a state of emergency, right? And we go on lockdown and economies drop and recessions hit. This is prime time to move. So don't just sit still, guys. Don't sit still. Connect yourself to the resources, develop the new skill, put together the system, and generate you some passive income.
Now, let me say this. I agree with you 100%. Part of my message to people is that, you know, for some people, this is a time to harvest. For some people, this is a time to plant. And for some who are lucky enough, it's a time to do both. But for all of us, it is a time to turn inward.
Yep.
You don't have anybody else but yourself. In the end, right?
Yep.
You should come out of this loving yourself, valuing lifelong learning, valuing investing in yourself, valuing changing mindsets to change lives. All right.
I shared this with my right now. I have a group of ladies that we are working together in my Jumpstart Your Vision program. Right. Some of them are actually on this live right now.
Wonderful.
And Jumpstart Your Vision is literally a life and business accelerator. Right. And the goal for this whole program is for you to be able to identify who you've been called to serve. Right? Before you can really get clear about the direction in which you want your life to go, You have to understand some things about your past, and you have to recognize that we all have been placed here to be of service, to be a servanthood to somebody else, right? That's what it's all about. The moment that you can identify, and that will look like a bunch of different things, right? Servanthood and serving and giving of yourself, it's in abundance, right? That can look like in your local communities. That can look like online, like what we do, right? That can look like just in your home, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be on like a public platform. Everybody's purpose in this servanthood mission is something totally different. You have to identify what it is for you. But as you spend that time developing yourself, right, cultivating your gifts and your talents, right, it all starts to line up. I'm a big proponent for alignment, right?
It does.
Big proponent for
Not
alignment.
hustle, align.
That's it. Because once you are in alignment, the opportunities start to show up on their own, right? They start to just attract to you. Your energy that you send out into the world and into the universe is going to pull the right opportunities to you. So with that being said, I don't think anybody that's on this live is on here by chance, right?
No.
You're here because you were supposed to be here.
Right.
You were here because this is the type of message that you need to hear to give you whatever type of little nudge, that little nudge in the back of your head or on your shoulder to tell you, hey, look, now's your time. Right, because you are right. There are seasons to this. Some of us are in the sowing season, and some of us are in the harvesting season.
Right.
Don't fall victim to the comparison trap.
No.
Okay? I talk about this all the time. When I was building, I had my blinders on. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anything. I didn't spend my time saying, man, why is what such and such doing over there seeming to, be taken off, or why am I not? Comparison is the thief
of joy.
It's the thief to joy, right?
The thief of joy.
So don't get yourself caught up in that. Focus on you, right? That's the one factor. That's the one thing that you ultimately have the control over, okay? And so you want to make sure that while you have this time, if nothing more, you discover something new about yourself. Period. It's a win. If you walk out of this with a newfound joy, a new hobby, bam, there you go. Encyclopedia. That's it. Discover you in this time. And then figure out how to leverage it, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about the leverage. I'm all about the leverage, okay?
Yeah. Work smart. Work smart. Work smart.
Absolutely.
Wow. This has been incredible. It's been great talking to you. I wanted to make sure that we got all of your points out. Did you get all your points about?
I got all the points out. I'm going to do a real recap for you guys really quickly, because I think it's important that if you didn't hear it, or if you just jumping into the room, we go over it again, right? Most important thing that you can do right now in this time of quarantine and isolation, right? You can spend some time truly understanding yourself on the deepest level possible. Spend your time personal developing, right? And I want to tell you this, right? There is no destination in personal development.
No.
It's an ongoing thing. It never ends, right? It never ends. I still develop myself personally. Every single day I spend time with me. I spend time sharpening myself, okay? So personal development is key. Hand in hand with that personal development is mindset and perspective. You have to keep your mindset and you have to keep your perspectives in check. We're human, right? We're of human flesh. We are flawed individuals. So I will tell you, there will be moments where you second guess yourself, where the negative thought may come into your mind. The goal is to be aware. If you are aware, then you can immediately flip the switch and change the perspective. Okay. So I'm not telling you you're going to be omitted from negative thoughts or
it's going to come harder.
It's going to come harder, but now you know how to deal with it when it shows up. Okay. That's where the personal development comes into play. Once you have your mindset in check, once you are clear about who you are and the opportunity that is before you, you take your resources and you leverage them. Okay. You take those resources, and the resource that we're talking about today is that stimulus package, because everybody got one, okay? It was money you didn't have before this started, okay? And what I will tell you is, if you are in position to be able to leverage that money, there are opportunities right now that you can take advantage of. E-commerce is booming. The stock market is number 2. You can do anything in any of those 2 spaces right now and have an opportunity to flip or leverage the opportunity that you have, right? The time that you have now to learn the new skill. Learn the new skill, right? Entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, but multiple streams of income is, right? There are stocks that will pay you dividends every month. Go find out what they are.
Educate yourself.
Buy them now. Okay, now is the time that you buy. Even though they have froze the dividends right now, they're not going to be frozen forever. So when it comes back, guess what? You will start to gain. You will receive some residual income off of an action that you did one time. You did it one time, and you're going to keep getting paid off of it. Okay, stocks are the long game. Make sure that you develop the financial discipline. That's part 2. Okay, you can't invest in yourself and invest in your future if you're completely tapped out financially. Okay, if you are the person that is paycheck to paycheck, dollar for dollar, go sit down and look at your budget. I encourage you to print out your bank statement and you highlight every recreational dollar
that don't lie neither,
that does not have to be spent. Right, go through it, look at it, don't run from it. Because that's another thing that we do. We just ignore things thinking that they're going to go away.
Terrible.
That's not going to help you. Right? Terrible. You want to change right now. Now is your opportunity. There is no excuse. There's really no excuse right now.
You're right.
An abundance of time. There's an abundance of resources available to you. Now is your go time. Okay?
When people say they lack time, they didn't lack time. They lacked discipline.
Absolutely.
They lacked discipline. One of my favorite quotes is from Malcolm X. He says, in all things, the proper respect for time determines success or failure.
Absolutely.
In my course I did 2 years ago, Fall Back, Propel Forward, that was a quote that I used, and I linked it to what I said. Your schedule is not going to lie. Your schedule is going to tell you where you spend your time and where you spend your values and where you spend your money. Your time, your values, and your money. And your values should be aligned to the thing that you're perhaps pivoting towards.
Absolutely.
To that purpose that you're called towards.
Absolutely.
Right?
100% of the way. 100% of the way. Like, it's not going to lie to you guys. Where you place your value at is where you're going to spend your money and your time. So what do you value? You got to ask yourself that question. Right? And once you come to terms with it, because like I opened up and said, there's some parts that are external that I can do for you, in that if you connect yourself and you align yourself with the right person, they can help you with. But then there's other parts of the process that's internal, right? That you have to be committed to doing for yourself. Okay. Self-motivation for sure. And then last thing, right, in closing, the last thing that I want to leave you guys with again is that, remember, there is no shortage of opportunities ever. We live in a time where technology is at our fingertips. We have more access to more people and more resources than ever before. Okay? There's never a lack of opportunity. There's only a lack of creativity. So now we just have to get creative, right? We have to be creative. Okay, guys?
It was great talking to you. I know that we're going to continue to have conversations. You're going to come into the Escape Tribe and you're going to teach. I want you to teach and talk about working from home, because that's what people are dealing with right now. We're already on the idea of the mindset and this time being an opportunity. Folks, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank Simone Adrienne. If you are here from her community, drop an 8. Drop an 8 so I can see. Drop that 8. And folks, if you want to learn more about the Escape Tribe, I encourage you, just follow the Escape Tribe hashtag. You can find it on IG. You can find it on Facebook. It is the Plan Your Pivot Escape Tribe. All right. We want to help people. We're out here giving out free information. I'm doing free LinkedIn profile reviews and free resume reviews.
That's it right there, y'all. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Shoot the DM. Say, hey, I need that. I'm about
Find
to ask
us.
about my LinkedIn review, right? I
Yeah.
need to go get my LinkedIn audited
We go
because
do it. We go do
yes,
it.
I have some stuff that I want to make happen on LinkedIn too. Take advantage of the free opportunities that are being
Yes.
made available to you guys
Yes.
right now. And thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Anybody that wants to stay connected is Simone.Adrienne on all social media handles.
Yep.
And then overcoming_her to number 8. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sis. I'm going to wrap things up, but I'm going to check back in with you, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
sounds good.
All right, now. That was an incredible, chat with a sister who we're linked here, in hearts and mindsets. I had to talk to myself today. The reason why I'm in front of you right now is because I overcame imposter syndrome. All right. I slid my resume across my desk to myself. I overcame imposter syndrome to talk about the things that were important to me. I was a political science major. I wasn't talking about politics. Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't talking about politics until I became brave enough to overcome the fear and the negative talk in my own head, to come here to bring forth the messages that I have as far as personal branding. All right. How to be successful in this next world. I could talk to you all for days. I would love to. I want you to find the Escape Tribe on Facebook. All right. It's facebook.com/groups Escape Tribe. You'll find it. You'll find it there. And I will be helping you along the way. We're building a community of people that want to move, who want to pivot, who want to escape, who want to learn, who want to live a life of gratitude and expectancy. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you that are here. I honestly mean that. I know you can spend your time anywhere. I'll wrap up my message. I had a few little words that I wanted to say. Kindness is the light of life. Happiness is an accomplishment. Steadiness comes from character and commitment. Your strength is your belief. Use your head to live with heart. Prosperity is within us because we are born wise and we are born complete. This is an incredible opportunity for us all. God bless you. I wish you safety and peace and love and light and learning and prosperity. All right? Thank you all very much for tuning in. Find me, drop me a line, drop me a DM. If you're interested in the Escape Tribe, hit us up. If you want to send me your resume, LAEsuccess@gmail.com. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. Have a good night.